Hey everybody, it is John the Comic Guy, and I just picked up a 4-long box comic collection from a comic dealer named Tony. The interesting story about Tony is he's about 45 minutes away from me, so he's really not super close. So again, an hour-and-a-half round-trip drive. I actually initially met Tony about 2 months ago where he posted comic book boxes for sale, or comics, long boxes for $50, right? I know I'm not going to get a bunch of keys, but I'm going to get inventory to sell or whatnot and things like that. So I drove over, again, this is 2 months ago. And when I got there, he goes, John, I just sold the comics to another fellow named John. I thought it was you. So stay tuned, and I'm going to tell you the rest of that story. So as compensation for me driving, again, it's an hour-and-a-half round-trip drive. I was kind of pissed off. But he goes, John, I'll pay you gas money. And or he goes, I have some variant cover Amazing Spider-Man books that you could resell. He says, they're not particularly valuable, but I'll give them to you. So I took that instead of the gas money. I asked him, though, to do me a favor, the next time he gets comics, and he assures me he gets a lot of comic books, he would call me first. And he did yesterday, and lo and behold, I picked these 4 long boxes up today. So I'm at Tony's house now, and he's an interesting guy. He goes, until I have my coffee and my bagels, I'm just not right. But he took me into his basement, and what the words he uses, I'm going to come clean with you. He says, what I do is I put together full runs for customers with comics, and he's been doing this for years and years. He's a younger guy too, but he took me down to his basement, and I would have to say, I estimate there being maybe 100 to 150 long boxes of comics down there. He has them all in alphabetical order, alphabetized, and he's assembling full runs. He says he's one of a few people who do that specifically for clients to fill up, full runs of comics. So, hey, that's his method. That's all cool. But when he has extra excess that he can't use for his clients, that's what he sells off. And that's I'm hoping that I established a good tradition with him that when he gets these boxes and fills them, he will call me first, and he knows I'm a sure thing, right? I'll just go over and pick them up. So I'm going to go look through these comics now, and if I see anything really worth notable or worth noting, I might flip it around and record it for you. But I think what I'm going to do is just at the end show you what I'm keeping either for myself, or it's going to be some highlights in my inventory. So these are the 4 long boxes that I picked up from Tony. I'm not going to do the flip through, as I mentioned, just because I just don't think you're going to have a lot of keys in here. But at least what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them, and then I'm going to show you the books that either I'm keeping or that I think are most notable for inventory. So this collection actually was a very typical 4, 5, 6 long box collections, right? This had no real old valuable books in there. This is a bulk collection, but I thought I would just take you through the process that I go through when I get a collection. Now, you've seen the Providence collection. If you haven't, click the link above and you'll see what I would consider some great collections that have a lot of keys. And a collection like this that didn't really have any keys, it's still valuable for me because I like to turn over my inventory, right? As a dealer, I like to churn and get some bulk for people to pick up on. What I also plan to do is having my Black Friday sale this year, which is, by the way, as a friendly reminder, Friday, November 28th. It's the day after Thanksgiving. We're having another Garage Con. So far, already confirmed is Matt from Patriot Comics, right? And Joe from Joe Tower 97 on Whatnot. Or if you haven't already, check him out on YouTube. His channel is Pork Roll Toys and Comics. So These guys are great vendors, and we're going to have a ton of dollar books, right? Obviously, we're going to have some keys for, you know, going into the hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but where else are you going to be able to pick locally, meeting a couple of your friends and then selling hundreds and thousands, well, more like thousands, right? It's going to be long box after long boxes of dollar books to pick from. So it's a fun event. It might be a little chilly, and it's going to be rain or shine. If it's raining and it's cold, we may be stuffing ourselves in the garage, but that's the way it goes, right? We're talking November. But anyway, please put that on your calendar. Again, it's Friday, November 28th, Black Friday of 2025. I hope you guys can manage coming out and seeing us. And again, so far, me, Joe Tara, and Matt from Patriot Comics, we're Joe Tara 97 from Whatnot, and Patriot Comics Matt, we're confirmed we're going to absolutely do this. A couple of the questionable ones is going to be Kevin from TR Collectibles. He lives a decent, right? He's about an hour away, and it might be a pain in the neck for him. So I we're not sure if he's going to join us, but I hope he does. And certainly John from John's Comics, if health permits, he may be joining us as well. So, but again, at least you got the three of us who are going to be here, the same three who were at GarageCon, and it's certainly going to be a good time. So anyway, some of the books a little more notable. So most of these are going to be dollar comics. Some of the Spider-Man I might sell for $3 for $10, right? So generally, I try to sort out the books. And really quick here, pardon me, I want to show you a little bit more in detail. Pardon me. So the books that, after I sort through it, there's going to be a stack of books that, in my world, I find unworthy to sell. Even if I sell it for $1 a piece or $3 for $10, regardless. If they're too water damaged, if they're bent, torn covers, I'm certainly not going to throw comic books out, right? That's just not my style. There's going to be somebody out there who's going to want to give it to their kid and let them enjoy it. So even if they're coverless or they're damaged severely, I put them in my reader box and I let people pick and choose. So check this little video clip out, and that's really going to be people who are spending money. Typically, every $5 you spend, I'm letting people take a reader, right? I don't have boxes and boxes of them anymore. I used to have like 5 or 6 boxes of readers. Now I'm down to 2. So again, every $5 you spend, you get a reader. That's the way I'm planning to do it this year, or at least now. And check out the video, and these are going to be the readers. I can't just toss out comic books, even though these comics are beat, right? I mean, they're in terrible condition, but I am telling you, somebody is going to enjoy them. Spider-Man, sensational Spider-Man. I mean, these are good reading books. Yeah, you see that? That one had like the comic cover torn. I mean, these are beat. And then you got some Daredevils, right? I wish I could sell these buttes, but, impulse. But, somebody's going to enjoy them. I'm going to continue with my reader category, and these are the ones that I got in this collection. Ultimately, anytime somebody spends $5 with me, I'm going to let them pick a reader. So if they spend $100, they can pick 20 books out. So I'm hoping somebody's going to enjoy these, right? Somebody with kids, or they just want to read books. But those are the readers from this collection that I can't press out, and I don't feel comfortable selling them. So I'm just going to give them away. Now, the books that have been bent a little, they might have a spine tick, and they can be pressed. Then I press them, and I keep them organized into a little pre-press area that I press them. So I mean, when I say I have my press going 24/7, every day I'm churning out books in my press. So this is really my pre-press area. So these are more books that I got from that $200 collection that I think these are going to be pressable. They're not beyond pressing, but I'm going to check with Brian Soupy if he could use any of these newer Spider-Man. I'm betting he doesn't need any of these, but again, I like to give him the first right of refusal. And then these are, of course, that's the box of books that need a little pressing. And then these are some of the books that I got. And again, at this point, even if I sell these for $1 a piece, or even if I need to, like 50 cents a piece, this is the kind of stuff that I get sometimes with like a $200 collection, right? I knew I wasn't going to get any diamonds in here, but these, Justice Leagues, right? DC, right? I don't do that great with DCs down here, but I'm not in a rush to sell this stuff. Some Wolverine, some books. Again, these are all in good condition, so I'm going to sell them. I think for like my Black Friday sale, these will be great. Dollar bins. I'm going to bust out all my dollar boxes and see how they do, and I'll also use some of this inventory for whatnot. So again, nothing really killer in here, but certainly good filler, and for $1 a piece, I don't think you could really go wrong. So now I'm going to share with you the books that I found of interest and that I'm going to be keeping myself. Recently, I have been a little hesitant to put all of my 3 for $10 or dollar bin type of comics, right? The bulk type of comics in my garage and let people flip through it, because invariably people take books out, they say they're gonna buy them, they walk over to another box, even if they're in alphabetical order, and then they realize I really don't need it, and they shove it back in any box. I've been trying to avoid that, but for Black Friday, I hope everybody keeps it in an orderly basis, but if they don't, what are you gonna do? But I am gonna bring back my dollar books, thousands of them, for my Black Friday sale. Then they go back in my basement, and I'm going to sell them on whatnot. So, but that's the way I've been handling it. Either they're going to be readers, they're going to go into an area that they still have to be pressed, and then there are the books that are still pristine, or they're as good as they can get, that I do believe are worth $1 or more to sell, and then I put them in the boxes to be filed into my inventory. That's the way I do it as a dealer. It's my logical flow. But this is a book that I might put in my $5, right? I have a lot of Defenders. People seem to like the Defenders, and this is a decent condition Bronze Age book. I think, for me, I will put it in my $5 boxes, as I will this. The Thing, again, the Thing traditionally is not a very valuable, but this is a nicer condition. It's a Bronze Age book, and every so often people ask me for Thing books. Obviously, Tales of the Teen Titans with George Perez. This is issue number 47. I was tempted to keep it, but again, I'm being so picky-yoon about what I keep for my own collection at this point. I have a space issue, so I'm going to sell this. But again, I'm going to put this, again, a nice Bronze Age book. I got to love George Perez. I'm putting that in my $5 boxes for now. Another notable book is this Justice League. I think I probably have a copy or two of this, but this is Justice League of America, issue number 101. I'm going to put this. This is, again, a decent condition Bronze Age book, 20-cent cover price, but I'll put that in the garage for $5. Again, just sharing with you my thought process. Everything else that you saw is going in my $1 or 3 for $10 box, depending on when I sell it. Another one I'm going to put for $5, just because I think this is kind of cool. This is all newsprint, right? This is the Marvel Guide to Collecting Comics, issue number 1. I like it a lot. All newsprint, doesn't have a glossy cover, but I have to believe somebody's going to want a little piece of Marvel history here, and getting this Marvel Guide to Collecting Comics may just be the piece that they need. So putting that in my $5 bins. These other ones also, and now these are low grade. I love these old war comics, and this is so beat up, but this is Our Fighting Forces number 76. Did I say low grade? Obviously, if somebody negotiates, I'll talk down, but I love these Silver Age books. I tend to keep a lot of my war books together, so I'm going to add this, put in my $5 inventory, but you just never know. And that may be a little high, and again, maybe I'll give it to somebody as a gift if they're buying a stack, but I'm not going to put this just in my standard like whatnot for sale boxes, or my $1 boxes, just because people are specifically asking a lot for war comics, and this may just fill out a run. And again, maybe it might not be a $5 book. It's clearly not a $5 book, but at least then if somebody picks it out and says they want this, I'll likely gift it to them or sell it to them at $2 or $3. But I'm going to put it in my $5 boxes just so I have it with those other war books. Then there's Thor number 186. Again, this is a low grade book, but people do tend to like Thor's, Captain America's Daredevils that are like early Bronze Age. So these 15-cent books, I think, would be served well in my $5 bins. And again, as you guys know, I always negotiate, so I talk down a little bit, but that'll at least be the starting point. And as you can see, there really wasn't a lot of books that I'm adding to my $5 inventory. Most of it's going to my 3 for $10 or $1 inventory. There were 2 books, though, that I, for now, am going to keep for myself. The first is, I like Spider-Woman. Jessica Drew, right? That's Spider-Woman. I like this. This is issue number 4. I was just compelled just because it is really in good condition. It's a series that I've always collected passively. I have issue number 1. I probably just sold issue number 4 for all I know for a couple of bucks, but I saw it. I pressed it. It came out beautiful. Instead of just adding it to my dollar bins or my 3 for $10 bins, I'm going to keep it for now. Spider-Woman number 4. Now, last but not least, I'm going to keep this one just because this has cover artist Miko Soyan. This is the Free Comic Day copy of Batman Special Edition number 1. And then Miko signed it on the bottom. And Batman is a title that I do passively collect. It's signed. Will I ultimately sell it? Probably. But how much really is something like this worth? I'm not sure. I saw a couple being sold for $5, $10, and I don't know if that's what I would get for it. So for now, I'm going to enjoy my signed copy of Batman Special Edition number 1 from Free Comic Day. And everybody, that's this $200 collection summary. I hope you enjoy this content because, again, as a dealer, you could at least see the thought process that I start individualizing the areas in which I store them. Books to be given away as a part of readers, books to be pressed, books that don't need to be pressed that just have to be bagged and boarded and then placed in order. And from that point, it just logically makes it easy for me to then let people know that I have books ready to be sold. So I hope you like this content. I hope you found it informative. If you're thinking of starting to be a dealer and you get these collections, how would you place them in order? How would you organize them? So let me know in the comment section if you kind of think this information is useful, at least to you. I thank you so much. Please hit the like button. I would ask you to share this and make comments. I always appreciate kind comments, right? If you're a hater, you don't need to make a comment. But if you have constructive comments, I'm always curious on your thoughts and if this helps you with the way you organize things. And then certainly, I would always encourage you to hit the subscribe button because I really do appreciate you. So everybody, I will catch you on the flip side. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Order. We will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay. The resistance prisoners.
You have what I want.